Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the process. Y'all know who I am. I'm Kirby. Uh, Wait for a couple more people to get in on this. We're gonna make this happen. We're gonna make this shake. And we're gonna get through. We're still gonna do the updates. We're still gonna do all that other great stuff that's out there. But I just wanted to uh, talk about a little bit more stuff on there, like the fear of money. But we're gonna still hit all the updates and stuff to make sure we're talking about the things that's important to you. So again, I'm gonna give it a couple seconds out there. I know it's a lot of stuff in the news, a lot of stuff in the media, where you got the Trump Elon thing going, you got the unemployment rates going on, you got something else that most people don't know what's going on. You got the unemployment numbers that just came out on Friday. So it's a lot of different avenues and aspects that's out there. But I'm not going to sit here and wait the 2 minutes like I usually do. I'm going to jump right into it. For the people that's not on, they can catch up and catch along. But for everybody that's out there, I want to make sure, can somebody hit in the comment section or the chat that they can hear me? And then if they say yes, then we're going to get along with this. But besides that, let's get into it. I'm just waiting for somebody to say they can hear me. Yep. All right, that's all I needed. Thank you, Justin, for letting me know. But so for everybody that's out there, understand that ask any question in the comment section, ask any question in the chat section. I'm going to get to it no matter what. It's don't even matter. I'm going to hit it. I'm here as long as you're here. So let's get into it. All right, first things up. And I'm going to do this reverse because, of course, I'm picking up the notes and I'm picking up the news, Sunday through Friday. But of course, I want to get the most prevalent news out there. And again, we talk about the things that most affect you, not most affect the upper middle class and the rich. I'm focused on the people that, they live in paycheck to paycheck. They live in under paycheck to paycheck. And I'm trying to get them off the sidelines, get them onto the field. So that is the aim point here. So that's the only people that I'm shooting for to give information to. I mean, the rich, they're going to figure it out. We'll be all right. And then so let's get on with that. Shane, thanks for joining. So going in reverse. All right, first thing up, Friday. And if y'all see me sweating, it's because of all these lights. It ain't anything else, just all these lights. I got my water, staying hydrated and things like that. But, all right, first thing up, Friday or Thursday came out with the unemployment numbers. 139K jobs in May was added. Unemployment rate was 4.2%. It looks good. And this is not a Trump, Biden, Clinton, Obama thing. This is just numbers. The unemployment rate is at 4.2%. 4.2% is good. But I look at the U6 numbers. The U6 numbers is the number of people that's underemployed, meaning that they work in part-time jobs because they're not on the government unemployment rate. I'm looking at people that fell off of unemployment because, of course, people that's been on unemployment, like myself, we go on unemployment and then, after a certain amount of weeks, then you get kicked off unemployment. Your number is not counted anymore on the government number that's advertised. So the U6 number includes those people that fell off and did not get any jobs. So the U6 number, and I'm looking at it right now, is at 7.40% unemployment. So that's a drastic difference between the number that the government put out and then the number in real life society. I only care about real life society. That is the key element that's out there. Hey, Vasoni, how's it going? So with that, and of course, when you look at the news and you look at the CNNs, you look at the MSNBCs, the Fox News, all these news channels, a couple months ago, they harped on the fact that Elon Musk was getting rid of federal jobs. Of course, that was just minutia in the whole process, but the minutia in the process is just the fact that they're not focused on the things that other companies are doing. And the reason why I say that, even though we came out with this 4.2% unemployment rate, according to the government, right after that came out, Procter & Gamble announced that they was laying off 7,000 employees. Microsoft announced that they was laying off 6,000 employees. Citibank announced 3.5 employees, 3,500 employees. Walmart, 1.5, so 1,500 employees. Karma, 40% of their workforce is being cut. CloudStrike, 500 employees. Disney, they say hundreds of employees will be removed. And then they announcing that it's different things. It could be automation, it could be outsourcing, it could be just cost. But that's what it is. Chegg is one that's big for me. Chegg is the one that they assist college students on, getting through the process of what they need to do to get through college. Chegg, 248 employees gone. Amazon, hundreds of employees gone. Warner Brothers movie studio and things like that, employees gone. So we can sit here and harp and bitch, moan, whatever about employees in the government, but the private sector is letting people go also. The people in Texas know, especially in the small outskirts of Texas, know we Elon Musk did to cutting the workforce. So the government employees, that was all over the news, but these other companies, these Fortune 500 companies, what they did to employees, that's not out there. It was not pushed out there to the masses like it is before. So everybody, get excited and get all in their emotions about the government employees, but understand, people are losing their jobs all over this country. It don't matter when, where, how. They are losing jobs all over this country. All right, so we got rid of that. All right, so again, I'm going to reverse. So, and give me a second, because these lights is burning my soul. All right. Got those out the way. All right, now, for the main thing that was out there. The main thing that was out there is the Donald Trump, Elon Musk feud. And that's the one that we're going to sit here and talk about for a minute. And then for the people that's out there, ask all the questions in the comment section. I will get to them as soon as I get finished with my diatribe of all the things that's going on. All right, the Donald Trump, Elon Musk feud. It's a special one. And it's a special one because, of course, all the media is watching it. All the media is talking about what's going on. But truth and reality, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. I don't care if you're on the left. I don't care if you're on the right. If you 100% support everything somebody do, you have a problem. I done looked in my ex DMs. I done looked in comments in the, YouTube and all those other avenues. I even got text messages from personal friends or whatever. And they're 100% one way or 100% the other way. The truth is, I'm pragmatic enough to understand real from BS. There's no way in hell, I don't give a damn what president it is, I'm going to agree with 100% of the things that they do. Let's take it a step further. I don't agree with 100% of the stuff that my wife do, and I married her. So I'm going to agree with 100% of something somebody I don't know do? Now, let's get this out here. If I die after this video, y'all know where it came from. Make sure y'all call the police. Y'all know who did it. But I don't agree with 100% of what she does. So with that, I 1000%, and for people that's been following this channel for any amount of time, I 1000% agree with Elon Musk when they say that Donald Trump's budget plan is terrible. Matter of fact, before Elon Musk came out with it, I text, especially the super MAGA that just said, oh, hell no, we just gonna do whatever. I 100% agreed with him with that. I told him, I said, this bill is bad. And I'm not talking to the upper middle class rich people. I'm talking to the people that's in there in the gutter, but they still just, blind sight what's going on. And then they are mega supporters. And I said, this budget bill or this tax bill is terrible. Of course, I got all the hate mail that went along with it. I don't care. And let's not get it messed up. This is not like Benny Siegel, that's one of my favorite rappers out there. This video is not a, hey, let's get on Donald Trump. Let's just talk everything about Donald Trump. Again, I'm pragmatic enough to say, hey, I like a lot of his policies, but it's some things that I don't agree with. And I don't agree with this big, beautiful bill. It's no secret. It's no... I've said it many a times, even before Elon Musk came out with it. The reason why is you can't send Doge to say, hey, we're going to cut all these jobs, so we want to lower costs, but we're going to do something else that's going to raise expenses. I mean, let's just look at it at a household level. Anybody that I sat down with and said, hey, let's do a budget, they didn't say, hey, we bring in $3,000, our expenses is $4,000, we just going to cover it with the credit card for all the extra. The key to a budget is the money that we have coming in that has to equal to the money that we have coming out. For people that don't know, the budget in the United States hasn't been balanced since Bill Clinton was in office. Now, for you historians that go out there and see when Bill Clinton was in office, then you will know. That's how long it's been balanced since then. So understand, for 200 years of this country's existence, we picked up $12 trillion in debt. But in the last 4 or 5 years, we done added another $12 trillion in debt. So it took us 200 years to add 12 trillion, but in the last 4 years, we added another 12 trillion. Now, with the whole budget plan that Trump has, I could agree with it if it was $2 to $5 trillion if we had no debt. But we got 32, 36, 38 trillion dollars of debt already. And people, I really don't believe people understand what $1 trillion of debt is. So let me put it in perspective. If we go back to 50 years before Jesus was born, and y'all can do the math, y'all got calculators. I'm not sitting here saying blindly believing the crap that I say. But if you go back 50 years before Jesus was born, you know he died, it went from BC to AD. But if you go back before he was born, so we know he died at 33, so 33 years from that, you go 50 years before that. And the United States spent $1 million a day from then till now, we wouldn't hit $1 trillion. Now, we only 200-300 years old now. United States ain't that old. But if we go back to 50 years before Jesus was born till now, we barely hit $1 trillion. Spending $1 million a day. That's $1 trillion. We got $30+ trillion of debt now. That is the key element of it all. That is the problem right there. So if we had, a couple billion, maybe $1 trillion, and we added $2 trillion, then okay. But we already got $30+ trillion, and we add more and add more. And the people that sit here and say, oh, that don't matter, it's because they're selfish. Y'all know my favorite word, they're selfish. They're selfish because the impact of this debt and all the debt before won't impact them. It'll impact their kids, their grandkids, and their great-grandkids. So they'll be dead and gone, and then they saying, oh, it don't matter. That's what I mean by selfish. Because eventually, it will come to roost. Eventually, it will be a Venezuela. Eventually, it will be a Colombia. Eventually, it will become a Mexico, where somebody else's currency is 1,000 times what our currency is. That's what that is. So even though I agree with a lot of Trump policies, I do not agree with this budget bill. But people on the, right or left, they figure it's all or none. No, it's not for me, it's not. I can agree with some things and disagree with some things also. And I literally had hundreds of text messages when I told people that this budget bill was absolutely terrible. I had people tell me, somebody that's well-versed in finance don't understand the budget. When Trump himself admitted that Elon Musk know more about the budget more than majority of the people in the United States. And Elon Musk did say it was a terrible bill. Now, do Elon Musk have his, quits and qualms about it? Is Elon Musk upset about, hey, the companies that he owns are going to be affected by it? Yeah. Everybody's playing their side on it. But I said it was bad before Elon Musk said it. And then, and for people that's been following this channel for a while, y'all know I'm not an Elon Musk fan as far as his product. Tesla or EV vehicles itself, if you've been following this channel for a long time, my biggest problem with EV is people thought they was buying EVs to eliminate the cost of buying fuel. Now you can eliminate the cost of buying fuel maybe if you, charge, take, 40 or hour and a half to charge the vehicle. But of course people want to get on with their day and they want to supercharge. It's damn near costing more than regular gasoline. And that was something that I pointed out a long time ago. I've admitted in the EV space, the only technology that I like is NIO. And the only reason why I like NIO's technology is my battery's about to go dead. I can pull in the gas station. I can take the battery out. It's a 15-minute process. I can put a new battery in and I can keep going about life. I've always said that the infrastructure in the United States does not support the EV model, especially if people still want to travel, move, and communicate the way that they was before. So this is not a, hey, I'm an Elon Musk fan or, hey, I'm a Trump fan. It's, let's be honest with ourselves. That's what it all comes down to when it comes to that. All right, what else we got? All right, talk about money. That's the whole premise of this whole video. And I hope people are putting their questions in the comment section because I'm coming back to those very soon. All right. The talk about money or the fear of talking about money or the fear of money. So understand, in February, and I'm looking at a chart right here, I will take all this apparatus down and then mess up y'all view and then try to figure it out. But in February of this year, all the statements came out of what all the big investors are doing. For you people that don't know, the big investors, they have to announce, I can't think of the actual file term right now, but they have to announce the moves that they made in the stock market. It's only a couple that I follow. I follow Ray Dalio. Of course, I follow Warren. I follow a couple big wigs and see what they're doing. But I put a video out about Warren Buffett sitting in a large amount of cash somewhere at the end of January into February. And in the video, I said, hey, Warren Buffett is getting in more cash, so he knows stuff that I don't. I'm not going to sit here and act like I know more than him. And I said, hey, I need to make some adjustments. So what did I do? I sold a couple assets off. I sold a couple stocks off. I went and paid off a couple rental property debts to pay those off, so that wouldn't be a headache if things got bad. And I relayed that to the people on the channel. Now I know it's only 2,400 people on this channel. I don't get the looks of the big guys, but I put that out there. And then so with that, the stock market went up a little bit. Everybody, said that, hey, you crazy, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. And then the stock market, especially at the end of February, proceeded to drop down 20%. At that time, as the stock market proceeded to drop, I have multiple videos on here, you can check, that said this is the time to go all in on investing. I've seen, and again, 2,400 subscribers. That's all I got. I ain't got the million subscribers like everybody else got. 2,400 subscribers. I said this is the time to start going all in on investing when everybody is scared. I've always talked before this little downturn happened that the key is when the economy is going good, you need to save money. And then when the economy is going bad, that's when you need to deploy money. So February, the end of February or the middle of February happened, and then the stock market started to trickle down. By April of this year, the stock market was down 20%. But I started talking about, hey, go all in on the market right now in February and just keep doing it. I'm going to tell you what happened in my family. In my family, I started telling everybody, hey, we're going to clamp down on the stuff we're spending because we need to put more money in the market because it's going to go down. I was hoping that it went down way longer than it did. But we kept putting money in. We kept putting money in. We start front loading 401ks. We start front loading retirement accounts. We start front loading non-retirement accounts. Because I said, this is the time to buy because we had the Warren Buffett video about his best isms or the best statements that he said. And these are the best times to get in. So I saw the market going down. So I'm taking every penny that I got. I will wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I get the accounts receivable. Okay, this is how much I can put in investments. That's what I did. From the middle of February all the way. I mean, I'm still doing it now. I'm going to be honest. I'm still doing it now. And so with that, again, people say, oh, you crazy. You got the people on these bigger channels that got hundreds of thousands, millions of subscribers. They talking about sell your 401ks. Hey, we need to figure this out. It ain't nothing to figure out. Study history will be the best determination of what's going on. That's it. So what I did was I just kept investing. Especially in April, I was putting it all in. I damn near maxed out 401ks and everything in April because it was down so much. It was down 20%. Now, the news media is still telling you how bad the economy is. The news media is still telling you how bad the stock market is. But in true reality, of course, that's why I always say, don't sit there and watch the news. Find out the facts for yourself. So now I wake up today and I'm looking at the market right here, and I don't want to do it, but I'm going to do it because I just don't want to mess up the screen. All right, so we got it here. I think I got it right there. I'm trying to get an angle here that's real good. So we stopped back here. This is when we started going down. And then now we're here. We're here. We're less than 2% away from the all-time highs. Not the 52-week highs. Not the highs that we seen back in 2023. We are less than 2% away from the all-time highs. But if you would have invested when it was going down, like I said, and I'm not saying it thinking I'm Nostradamus, I'm saying it because history said when the market goes down, that's when you should be heavily invested or heavily trying to invest. I don't think I'm Warren Buffett because Warren Buffett said it first. When there's blood in the streets, that's when you should be greedy. Only thing I did was follow what people that know more than me said. That's one thing. But the fear of talking about money. And again, make sure you keep piling these questions in because I'm gonna try to hit as many aspects as I can. All right, the fear of talking about money in the United States. I know the fear of money is you don't talk about money, religion, or politics. I think that is the worst advice that ever came about. I think another thing, worst advice that came out is you should never, well, this is a saying that they say. If you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. That's a lie. What's another one out there? Somebody in the chat help me. Hey Kumar, yeah, I'm back in the States. It's a lot of out there that's very fallacy, but the thing is you don't talk about money, politics, and religion. I'm gonna be honest with you 100%. In my family, that's one thing we didn't talk. Well, that's one thing we do talk about. Excuse me. But early on, that was something that I'm not gonna say we shied from, but we didn't talk about it because I'm not gonna get to the whole dynamic of my family, but we grew up in two different religious aspects. But what I realized is having the conversations about politics, religion, finances, or money, that was a thing that it was a lot of common ground. But we told don't talk about it. When you hear the saying that money's not everything, when you hear the saying that if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life, I'm about to give you, fresh off the press, 100% true information. The people who put out that information is rich people that own businesses that wanted to keep you an employee. That's it. They wanted to convince you you should be happy with being an employee, doing the work to make them rich. You don't supposed to talk about money, especially in the workforce in the United States today, because you know if you go to a workforce, anybody that works in an office setting or works anywhere, the one of the things that they say in the introductory onboarding process for these companies, they say, "Hey, yeah, we highly discourage you talk about wages." They're not saying that for your benefit. They're saying that for their benefit. Because if you're a new hire and it took a lot of money for you to get added on, it's people working 20, 30 years there that's been grinding and they're just at the salary that you're at. They don't want you talking about salary because they don't want you to come in there and ask for more money because you see that somebody that's doing the same job as you, that's probably unperforming you, is probably getting paid more than you. That's why they say it. Now, jumping to religion, and I hate jumping into religion, even though I love the subject. I hate jumping into religion because people get all, get their draws in a bunch, get their pennies in a bunch because they think that, oh, my pastor or my bishop, they know what they're talking about. It's a guy on YouTube, and I'll ask y'all to look him up. I don't have no link in the description, but I'm going to shout him out. Brian Adamson. Brian Adamson is the most faith-based financial guy on YouTube that I know. Faith-based financial that I know. He 100%, according to his videos, follows the Bible and faith on his financial journey. Of course, he didn't stack a couple million. And I always tell people, heathen, Gentile, or Christian, you don't need to read 500 books to become a millionaire. And people that's following my channel for more than a day, y'all know I don't preach this religious stuff. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with being in religion. I'm just saying, y'all know that's not my bar. That's not the thing that I do. And me and Brian, and again, we're not friends. This was, a talk over X or something like that. He don't have a clue who I am. He subscribed to the channel, maybe because I'm from Detroit or whatever. But he says the same things that I say. It's only one book that you need, is the Bible. And I'm not saying the Bible as, oh, well, yeah, you need to be Christian. That's a whole nother conversation. I'm saying the book, the text in the book is very important. But the problem is, and this is what I see, me, I grew up Christian, Baptist, or whatever. The problem that I see is the followers, the sheep to the shepherd has been shorted. They've been shorted because they don't read the Bible themselves. They only listen to what their shepherd, their preacher, their bishop say and believe that is the gospel. And I trust me, that's not where I want to go here, but some just told me to bring it up. And I don't know why Brian is on my mind. But in this book, that all these Christians, and Christians is one of the two biggest religions in the world, it say sow seed and reap the harvest. So for anybody to know anything about a plant, you sow a seed today and reap the harvest later. Sow a seed and reap the harvest later. And then if you put that in context with the Bible, the harvest was the money supply. The harvest determined your wealth. How many acres you had that you could produce a harvest determined your money. So for all these people that sit here and say, oh, we should be meek and be humble and be poor and be glad that we can come into a church, you lie. That's what the preacher, the bishop told you to do. The messenger that conveyed that information to you, they're limited of knowledge. The only thing they can think of it is sow a seed, reap a harvest is, hey, pay some tithes, and then some magical money will just show up in your account because you paying tithes. That's not true. Do y'all really think that the all-knowing, the all-knowing Jesus, the all-knowing God came on this planet knowing what it would be like? He know the beginning and the end, the Alpha and Omega. And then he said, oh, we only want the people that's willing to be poor to serve us. Come on, man. Come on, man. And I'm saying this growing up in a Baptist household. I'm saying this going to church more often than not. You're limited to the resources that pervade a message. But if you read it yourself, because the Bible says itself, there's no private interpretation of the Bible. But I'm going to get off the Bible, but I just want to let you know. Jesus and God plan want for you to sit here, be broke and humble, and, well, humble, yeah, but sit here and be broke and not knowing what the hell going on, especially when it comes to money. Another thing, for people that's been following this channel, and again, keep asking your questions in the comment section because I'm about to come to them. I'm about to hit I'm already hit the 30-minute mark, so I'm about to get to the questions. But not talking about finances, and this, as parents, what we try to do, we try to shield our kids away from the financial problems we have because we just want them to be kids. But we hurting them in the process. Now, again, people that follow this channel for a minute, I say the good, the bad, the ugly when it comes to my mom, because we family. That's what I say, because that's what everybody else say. We family. So I'm gonna talk about it all. The thing that my mom did that was the most important was the fact that even though she didn't know she was doing it, she always talked about the finances. Now my brothers, I had three brothers, I had three brothers, and they didn't give a damn about that. And she always talked about the finances. And she was just talking about it just to vent, really. But for me, I took keen eye to it. So when all my brothers moved out, I'm sitting there, I'm living with moms, I'm good. All my, high school friends or whatever, they saying, oh man, I can't wait to get out of mom's house. I'm ready to go do this, do that. Me, I was like, hell no. I'm staying here forever. I know how those bills hit. I got to work all this time because my mom was catching 2 buses to go to work, and she always talked about the bills. I didn't want those problems. So I wasn't trying to go nowhere. I'm gonna be 100% honest. If I didn't make the crazy mistakes that I made back when I was 17, 18, and 19, I'd still be living with her today. Like, go ahead, mom, you go pay it. I didn't want none of that. I didn't want none of that smoke with the adult life because I was open to it. My mom was very open about, where the finance was going. And again, she wasn't doing it to teach us financial literacy. I'm gonna be honest. She was just doing it just to vent because she had nobody to vent to. She was the matriarch. She was the people that everybody came to. And I just always took that in. I was just like, hell, I don't want no part of this. And that was one of the things that just always stuck with me. But parents today, or even parents back then, because like I said, my friends was talking about, oh yeah, man, I'm ready to get my own place. I always looked at them like, you know how much these bills cost? You know how much you got to work to pay these bills? And they had no clue. I know parents right now that do not talk to their kids about finances. But they think they have this great imagination that, and this is the imagination that parents before you had, the parents before you had, they have this great imagination that, hey, I want my kids to listen to what I tell them. Understand, kids are only going to listen to what they see you do, or they only going to pay attention to what they see you do. So I'm not about to go out here and go buy a Bugatti. I'm not about to go out here and fly private and tell my son, hey, you need to save your money, when he see me just throwing off money. I live my life, and this is 100% honest. I live my life exactly how I explained it on the video. I can bring in $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a month. My cost to live is $3,000 to $4,000 a month. Just because I bring in the money, that don't mean I have to spend it. I'm not about, and I don't give a damn how long y'all watch this channel. Let's be 100% honest. You can watch this channel from here to 50 years from now. You ain't gonna see me over there blowing the bag, showing off to try to impress people that can't afford their life. I'm gonna keep it 100% a buck. If I bring in $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 a month, my cost of living is not gonna change that much. Now, would I add an extra trip? Yeah. But it ain't no way in the hell that I'm about to bring in this money and then have my expenses come up to that money. Won't happen. But that's what we do. We go from entry level surviving all the way to the C-suite, and we still living paycheck to paycheck. Why? You wasn't comfortable once you had your life settled at, 100,000? You weren't comfortable at 200,000? We getting these promotions and got to show people that we had the promotion. I literally know people, every promotion they get a better car, they get a better house. Not me. I'm living in the same house, and I'm going to keep it a buck because y'all family. I'm living in the same house that I've been living in when my net worth was $500,000 to whatever it is now, because it's way, way, way more than $500,000. Same house. I ain't changed nothing. I ain't added nothing. I still keep my expenses. Do I go out there and go get more money? Hell yeah. Right before this video, I'm doing sales in the garage. Hell yeah. But my expenses is not going up. The only people that's impressed by the stuff that you buy is people that can't afford it. People that can afford it look like, oh, that's an expensive ass bill. Yeah, it's easy to go back to the hood, stunt and show out. But what the hell are you doing when you go back home? Be like, what the hell I even do this shit for? So for the parents out there, and this is what we do in our house for the people that's asking. For the parents out there, Money is a conversation that should be talked about every day. Money is a conversation that should be talked about every day. I remember when my mom moved here, and she moved here. She moved from Arizona. She moved here. She stayed with us for a couple months, and she was like, "Y'all are so fucking boring." That's exactly what her words was. And then so I asked her why, and she said, "You go into the office, you do whatever you do on all those screens you got on. You come out, you crack some jokes, you have a drink, and then you go back into the office. Then you come back out, crack some jokes, go back to the office. Then once your day over, you come watch a movie, game over. But you will sit here and talk about finance in between time. That's it. That's it. I want the whole family to understand the dynamic of what we're trying to build. I don't let my son go out, no matter, he can go buy whatever the hell he wants, but I don't let him do it. I want him to understand the cost of everything. Now, I said I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna take this camera off the thing. But and I'll tell you the number. I'll tell you the number because we family. Ever since my son was born, and we know this matrix because we done seen it all of our lives. That we, if you start working at 20 and then you work till you 65 and you invest $100 a month, then you will be a millionaire. Yeah, that sounds good. But why don't we reverse that and then start it when we're younger? Why don't you have a kid and then it's two options for me is you have a kid, why don't you go buy a rental property, and then once that kid become of age, you have them manage the rental property and then that's their property. That's one way. Because of course we know the value of rentals will go up or the value of properties will go up. Or do something simple. Start putting $100 in investment for a kid at 0, and then when they get to 18, you show them the compound interest that is made from 0 to 18 and tell them to keep going. So instead of waiting 45 years, by the time they age of 30, they're already a millionaire. I'm not saying that just to say it for this video. That's what we do. And then, so for people that don't know, my kids' allowance, and of course I'm about to probably get shot at the stake for this. My kids' allowance, he gets $100 a month. I know, haha. But the true number is he gets $500 a month. 400 is 100% invested for him. 100 is so he can spend. But guess what I do? I tax his ass to the hill. Literally right here, I got a jar with my kids' taxes on it. I give them 100 and I say, hey, pay me the taxes. Now the other 400, that's just an investment. But that's what we do. We want him to understand it's better for the money that you work for go into investments than you to receive it in your hands because Uncle Sam, me, that's where I get my drinking money from for your fellas out there. I tax my son. That's how it's done. But we have these conversations. My son we have conversations about investments. Of course, he still want to do the stuff that the kids want to do. He want to do the roadblocks and all that other stuff. But the premium is on investing. I didn't go to the malls, the Foot Lockers and all that and saying, hey, son, oh yeah, you got to have the Jordans. Keeping it a buck. Until my son turned 10 years old, he never knew what a brand new shoe was. Just keeping it honest. It was so easy to be like, oh yeah, hand me down here, hand me down there. It's not because we couldn't afford it. That has nothing to do with it. It's why the hell am I about to spend all this money on something that don't even matter that he gonna grow out of in 2 or 3 months? And of course, $50, $60, of course, well, you say you got all that money, that don't matter. No, $40 is still a lot of money to me. I can go hit Texas Roadhouse, get me a steak, buns, everything. Probably I can eat that longer than he gonna keep those shoes on. That's how it works. We gotta have real conversations. Don't be scared to talk about money. Don't be scared to say, oh, well, I don't want my kid to know how much money I make because he going to go to school. So what? What are they going to do? I mean, it's an open conversation. I don't live in no gated community where somebody can't run up on me if they wanted to. I just don't. I'm not scared of all that. Go for it. I mean, the thing is, you had kids so they can have a better life than you. If you don't talk about the real impacts of your life, the financial impacts of your life, your kid gonna think what you did are the reasons, are the way you live life. Forget what you said. They're gonna think what you did. And then now look at it. Now, if people just be honest with themselves and look back at their mom, their dad, their grandparents, y'all doing the same things that they did, but y'all don't even realize, wait, these motherfuckers ain't even had no money. Now, I'm sitting here and I ain't got no money. Those are real things that I sit there and look at. I would be a damn fool to sit there and of course, my mom, like I said, my mom is my mom. My mom worked her ass off and then she lived paycheck to paycheck. Some of it, well, a lot of it was her fault, and we could talk about that another day. And she know this. This is not no secret. She probably watching the channel now. A lot of it is her fault. But I told myself, it ain't no way in hell I'm doing that. That is what I'm saying. People got to start being honest with themselves. People got to start doing the things that damn matter. Kids are not listening to you. Kids are watching what you do. So if you clubbing every weekend, guess what your kid gonna do when they turn 18 and 21? Club every weekend. They can act like they don't like you all they want to, but they say, oh, mom and them went out to the club every weekend. Mom and them struggle, so I should struggle. You don't have to look far to see it. Most of your friends and family that you have right now struggle. Why? Because that's what they saw their parents do. And then the parents in there, well, I told them. You told them what? That don't mean nothing. You have to show them. You have to be the example that they want you to be. But, all right, I ain't going to go on this rant much longer. I'm sorry. I'm going to go hit these questions because I know we're getting long in the tooth. All right, so I'm going to start at the top. Again, put your questions out there. And sorry, I had to get that off my chest. Shane, give me 10 push-ups now. I think that's the Army buddy. Shane, I couldn't even do 3 push-ups. I'm going to be honest with you. I'll give you 2.5 and I'll owe you some later. Bonet, I'm illmatic like the crack addict. Oh, that's a good bar right there, Bo York. I'm not going to go there. Keep looking. Trump and Elon Musk have problems right now. Yeah, and again, Vasoni, don't worry about the problems that they have. That's two people that's trying to go after different things. Just because I disagree with Elon Musk's view on the budget, I agree with Elon Musk's view on the budget. Understand, it's parts of the budget that it's the reason why Elon Musk disagree with it. The EV credits, the EV mandatory, those was eliminated. Remember, Elon Musk runs an EV company. So he has extra incentive to be mad about it. Me, I don't like it because it's adding $2.5 to $5 trillion of debt. Not that I have to pay for. That my kids, grandkids, and great-grandkids got to pay for. That's why I don't like it. So, yeah, they upset at each other, but it's not like Elon Musk is oh so innocent. He has barbs and he has dogs in the fight. That's why he's doing it. Is it possible that the U.S. will be in debt forever? The United States, hear me well, as long as you live, long as your kids live, long as your sister kids live, the United States will be in debt forever and a day, and they will always be in debt forever. No matter what happens, even if they go bankrupt and then they go into conservatorship and all that other stuff, the United States still will be in debt. What else we got? How do you know when you are... All right, let me see this. Sin, how do you know when you are not broke and live paycheck to paycheck? That's a great question. That's a great question. Let me give me a second. Me, I don't live paycheck to paycheck, and I think I've said this in many videos. When your income is three times your expenses, when your income is three times your expenses. So if you bring in $10,000 and then your expenses is $2,500 a month or $3,000 a month, then you're not living paycheck to paycheck. Because just simple math, let's just say you bring in $10,000 a month, your expenses is $2,500 a month. You can go 2 other months without getting a paycheck and you still will be fine. So that's my golden lever. But I always recommend, before somebody think about quitting a job or anything else, you need to have three times your income out. I mean, three times your expenses outside of your 9 to 5 job before you ever think about the word retirement. But besides that, one catastrophic, you're screwed. Seeing also, what do you suggest to say to your kids about finance? Say everything about finance. Tell them every problem. Tell them every bill. When bills come to my house, I don't have them from a kid. I mean, sorry, I don't have any red notices saying, "Oh, you're late." But we talk to our kid about everything finances. And of course, he's a kid. He's like, "Oh my God, here we go again." Yeah, I'm not sitting there. He ain't standing at attention and he listening to it. But we're talking about it so he understands. We always talking about it and doing it. My son has a quasi ideal of how much money comes into the house. But because the money comes into the house, we ain't going out doing what he see on YouTube, TikTok, and all the other stuff. And we say, just because we got it, we don't have to spend it. We don't sit here and hide anything. And then people that know me on a personal level, y'all know I'm talking about finance all the time. I don't ever tell my kid, if he say something, I never say I can't afford it. Because soon as I say I can't afford it, that means it closes all discussions. Now, if he say, "Hey, I want this," we talk about, "Oh, hey, how can we afford it?" Even though I got the money, that don't matter. We talking about him right now getting his brain stimuli to figure out, hey, how can you afford it yourself? It ain't no, hey, just figure it out. It's, hey, let's go through this mental exercise. Hey, what do you have in your room that you don't use no more that you maybe can sell on Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, or what have you to pay for this? It's not about, hey, we want to be super cheap. It's about, we want to exercise his brain. If we die tomorrow, and I'm talking about me and his parents, die tomorrow, that he has an ideal of, hey, if shit hits the fan, I know a way. That's the thing we do with our kid. It's not, I mean, wherever we go, I'm sitting here talking about, hey, how is money made? We having these true, clear conversations. I'm not hiding nothing from them. For what? Even if I was broke today, if I'm gonna be embarrassed, maybe I'd be embarrassed for people outside the house, but why would I lie to my kid to make him believe in a fantasy that's not true? Make them believe reality. I mean, even my older son, my son, he's older. He got his family, he got his wife, he got his kids. I don't sit there and be like, "Oh yeah, man, we doing this." Why would I lie? I sit there and tell my son, "Hey, when I was your age, this is where we was at. This is what we did. These are the sacrifices we made. That's what you're supposed to do as a parent. It's not, oh, we're going to hide everything from them, but we're going to tell them the right thing to do, and we hope they do the right thing." I'm telling you right now, they ain't going to do the right thing. All right, so that right there, good question, Vasoni. True, people make more and then they spend more. Yeah, so going back to the budget real quick, and this is real quick. I don't know how, I mean, especially the MAGA far left. I mean, when I say far left, I mean people that think that there's nothing wrong with the MAGA movement. I mean, it's some that's less left that can be pragmatic and, admit to the issues and the faults that goes on. Nowhere in the common everyday person's life can they say, "Hey, we bring in $30,000 a year. We gonna pay $60,000 a year, but we just gonna throw a credit card on top of it." If they did a budget, they ain't saying that. They just not saying that. Now, could life happen and they don't do a budget and they don't figure it out, and that's what happens? Yes, and that's exactly what Congress is doing. But people, because they don't sit there and do a budget and truly understand how much money is coming in and how much money is going out. And then if the money's going out, we need to bring in less than the money's coming in. They do that. That's why you got people credit scores in the 400s, 500s. That's why. Because people don't actually tell the truth. People really don't do that. People really don't have a real cognitive understanding of what's going on in their financial household. And Congress looked the same way. Was it Terrain Horsley? Tell us the net worth. I'm about $3 over $100,000. That's where I'm stick to. How do you talk about money with kids and not stress them out? I don't care about stressing them out. Mental health, I don't give a damn about. I don't give a damn about that. I didn't seen too much stuff in life. No, it ain't stressing them out. They need to know the truth. So if your question is, do I care about my kids understanding finances or stressing them out? I don't care about their stress. I don't care about the mental health. I don't care about none of that stuff. I'm putting the pressure on them because they damn sure ain't gonna act like they don't know. Just being honest. I need $500 per week off of stocks. If you need $500 per week off of stocks, and I don't per week. All right, you said per week, not month. All right, so per week off of stocks, I would look into understanding what seller cover calls is, but understand you got to have a big position. You can't sit there with a couple $1,000s a month and think that you're gonna get $5,000 a week unless you really get into the details of technical trading. I was about to say investing, but you need to know technical trading. But if you don't want to go to the technical trading side and learn how to sell options and things like that, pick the monthly dividend stocks. But if you get a stock or ETF that pay monthly dividends, you have to have a crap ton of money in there to get $500 a week. But besides that, you need to learn how to sell options. That's the real way. Or learn technical analysis and learn how to swing trade, learn how to day trade, or what have you. What else we got here? Sin, that's the reason people don't talk about money, so they don't stress out over what's reality. Let them stress as they should. Okay, well, Anna just answered the question that I just said. They can stop stressing when money is no longer an issue. True. It's finding out the right questions for the answer and the perspective as a child. I say, for me, I think we limit our kids. And Blue Flare, I like the statement. And if I'm understanding this question wrong, please update the question. I like that. It's finding out the right question for the right answer. Just immerse them in everything. Just keep immersing them in everything. And the reason why I say that is because when my mom used to vent about financial stresses, her financial stressors, her financial issues, or hey, we got to help this person, we got to do that. You do this, you do that, or whatever. I just sit there and I was just like, oh. Now my brothers, I'm not gonna lie. My brothers, they were just sitting there looking like, oh, okay. Well, when can I get back on the PlayStation? Let's just be honest. Me, I was enamored with it. Like, hey, don't do this, do this. I've talked about it a couple times on this channel. I wasn't a grown man when I said, hey, don't buy me nothing else for Christmas and the holidays. I was 12, I'll say 13, to just give myself the benefit of the doubt or give me some room to reach. I asked my mom, I just walked up to her and I said, wait, how the hell do you keep paying for Christmas? I know how much this stuff costs. And again, this is 80s, 90s. So I know you paying upwards to thousands of dollars. And I know you don't have the $1,000 to pay it. And she said, hey, I'm borrowing money from somebody I knew, and then I paid them back the rest of the year. And then I asked only one question. And then you do that again? And she said, yeah, you got to do what you got to do. I said, well, I'm not about to be the burden on this. I said, stop. Don't buy me nothing else. Because it makes no sense. I see that half the stuff she buy is in the trash or broken or we ain't even using it 2 or 3 months from now. And I'm not saying I knew the right answer. I just knew that was the wrong answer at that age. But she immersed us, again, unwittingly. This wasn't her saying, yeah, I'm going to teach you all about finance. This was just her having no outlet to talk to, so the only person she could talk to was her kid. That's all it was. So I believe, hey, put it on them. Let them understand it. And then the ones who get it is going to get it. And then the ones who don't, you make them get it. But don't sit here and believe one day in your life that your kids are going to listen to what you say over what they see you do. You have to show them, hey, I'm doing this because of this. I'm doing this because of this. But if you think that you're going to do whatever and then you're going to tell them, hey, you need to save all the money you make. I remember my father telling me, hey, you need to save 50% of your paycheck. I never seen him save 50% of his paycheck. So when I finally got my own paycheck, what the hell you think I did? I spent all my money and blew all my money like he did. That's what's going to happen. Let's stop lying to ourselves. Clutch a stick, make more, spend more, lifestyle creep. I love it. Yep, you're right. People that make more, the thing is, they tend to spend more because they tend to spend more, not because they want to, they tend to spend more to let everybody else know what the hell they have. Literally, I've been in Fortune 500 companies and I've seen people move up the ladder. I've seen people move up the ladder in the same neighborhood that I'm in, and then they make $20,000, $30,000 more a year, and then they go move to a richer neighborhood. But then I also see them lose those jobs and get a demotion in those jobs, or the pay is not what they thought it was, and then now they're struggling. Now, all the while, I'm just sitting here making more money. I ain't moving to the goddamn place. I don't care about pressing people that can't afford the lifestyle that I have. I'm not going to buy Lamborghinis and drive through the hood and say, hey, look at me. I'm not buying Jordans and then walking around poor people saying, look at me. Because the only people that is impressed by expensive things is people that can't afford it. I've been driving down the street and a Lamborghini pull up in front of me, and then this guy, younger kid, he's nodding his head like, hey, yeah, look, I made it. I just rolled down the window. I said, that's an expensive payment, ain't it? And he looked sheepishly like, yeah, it is. I'm not impressed by it because I know the things that go behind it. The only people that's impressed by it is people that don't know what goes into it. Right now, for regular smegular cars, I'm talking about cars that ain't worth a damn thing, people are paying up to $1,000 a month. What the hell? Just so they can stunt on the hood. Get the hell out of here. I'll drive my Toyota Corolla to the end of times before I'm about to go spend money on people just to impress them. Just to be like, oh, look at him. Hell no. All right, let me see what else we got here. Sorry, I see the questions. I get fired up about them. Rent forever, never buy property. Pablo, rent forever, never buy property. I can agree with that if you're saying never buy property to live in, but you buying assets or properties to rent out to other people. I will 100% follow that up and agree with that. I believe people has been lied to for many of years about the American dream that you should just buy a property to live in. I believe you should buy property to rent to people and then rent where you live if that's the way you go. But I hope that's what you're trying to say. Uh, being grown equals stress. Yeah. Yeah. I never wanted no part of that stress. When I was young, I didn't want no part of it. I mean, I see it now. Hell, I still don't want part of it today. And I can afford it. Shoot, I wish my mom still lived where she was at. I try to bring the whole family. I ain't trying to pay those damn bills. Shoot, my mom can keep on working. She had me. I didn't have her. So she can go take care of me. So I'm all for that. Yeah. And then Sin, you said, I'm guessing you're saying your son said he's scared to be an adult. He says too much work. I agree with him. I believe your kids should set in like a tick, never leave the house until parents just get absolutely tired of them. But that's just me. What else? Christmas, create a 529 brokerage. Christmas? Yeah, I don't celebrate Christmas. I don't know if clutch and stick, I don't know if that's what you're doing. I don't celebrate no holiday, sorry. Create a 529 brokerage account to send your kids to college or trade school birthday money to. Clutch, I can agree with that. And again, when I talk about holidays and me not celebrating holidays, I'm not saying that's what you should do. I just seen that was a very major pain point, especially in the minority community, especially in the inner city community. I've seen so many people borrow money just to appease people for days that other people say you should celebrate. That was one sticking point for me to say that I was getting out of. But 529 brokerage accounts. And then again, with that clutch and stick, 529, that's just the account. Once you get into the account, you need to invest in something. I believe that you should invest in something that mimics the S&P 500. So in a mutual fund that's indexed to the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ. So don't just put it in a 529 thinking you're good, because a 529 is just like a money market account that you're going to get 3-4% on. You need to get 10, 12, 15% on that on an annual basis, and that's with the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. So I agree with that. Clutch and stick, the millionaire next door. Most American millionaires live in much less. I love this. This guy, I'm liking this guy. The book Millionaire Next Door, you're correct. The book Millionaire Next Door, most American millionaires live in much less on how they can afford and usually drive Camrys and Accords. Yep, you're right. That's it. That's who I am. That's who I am, guys. You ain't gonna never see me sit here talking about flying private. I'm not getting on no damn yachts. I ain't doing none of that. But I guarantee you, I ain't gonna be living paycheck to paycheck. I guarantee you that I'm going to have everything that my family need and want. But that's it. I'm not all this, all this YouTube fronting, buying Lambos, buying this private jets and all that. The plane going to get there at the same time. I mean, yeah, is it a little convenience, but is it a $20,000, $30,000 convenience? Hell no. I mean, now, if you're talking about, hey, you want to upgrade the convenience, all right, let's move from coach to business class to first class. Now, my son, he think he's supposed to be in first class. I think his ass need to be in the luggage. But that's what I mean by convenience. But I'm not about to sit here and just be flying private just to put up a video to say, hey, y'all, look at me. I paid $30,000 to fly private. $30,000, that's almost a down payment on another rental property. That will pay me forever. You think I'm paying for that? If you do, you don't know me. All right, so what else we got out here? Millionaire Next Door. All right, Tunde Brown, what the hell? I don't know what that is, so you got to hit me with another one. All right, Sydney, is that the same as HSA? HSA is for healthcare savings account. A 529 is for college. HSA is for healthcare savings account. And saying for the people that don't know, HSA, because people, especially on these corporate accounts or these group healthcare plans, they need to have money set up for those down payments or those premiums that they need to pay. So putting in an HSA, will have them save money and stuff for the premiums or the down payments or the deductibles that they need to pay when they family go to a hospital. So HSA is something different. See, I got to catch up on these videos because my question is, if I put in a minimum on the NASDAQ, Will that only be the one time or will it stay there? Blue Flare, I don't understand your question, but I'll say it like this. I would keep putting money into the Nasdaq, especially when it goes down. You got again, if the mindset is inverse. The mindset is inverse. When the news media start talking about blood in the streets, the stock market is going down, everything is crazy, then that is when you want to invest. Of course, you want to be scared because that's what the news media is saying. But you got to have the fortitude to think the opposite and invest. Like I was just saying earlier in the video, when the stock market was going down and everybody, especially the big YouTube subscribers, talking about, hey, we need to, y'all need to sell your 401ks, it's going down, especially if they partisan Trump or not Trump. And then I'm here yelling with my 2,400 subscribers saying, no, this is the time you need to buy. But again, I always say history will tell the truth. History will tell the truth. So we went down 20%, and this was on April 7th. And I'm sitting here front loading everything to try to get as much money in. And then now look at it. We in June 5th. We're 1% from the all-time high. So for all the people that listen to the big YouTube channels and people who were selling their 401k and people did all that stuff, they're done for. But for people who, the 2,400 subscribers that listen to me and they was buying, they made more money in the last 3 months than the average return on the stock market in a year. That's all. The key is keep investing. It's not, hey, I put $100. It got to be on a rhythm. It's $100 a week, $100 a month, whatever, but it has to be on a rhythm. And then the thing is, on top of that $100 you putting in into the Nasdaq every week or month, you have to be stacking extra dollars because there's going to be opportunities like we had in April, like we had in February, where the market drops, where you can dump a lot of money in there and then benefit from it later. Again, going back to the Bible, sow a seed, reap a harvest. People that understand planting, you sow a seed in April, you reap the harvest in October, June, or whatever. But it's you sow the seed now to reap the harvest later. It's not, oh, I sow a seed today, I better have an apple tree tomorrow. That's not life. That's not the real. What else we got? What the hell? Oh, telling you. All right. So I got to catch up on the videos. As seen, Indeed, Index, investing in 529 HSA, Roth IRA, you'll be sitting pretty for after 2 decades. Yep, Clutch Stick, you're 100% right. I believe in hitting all those, especially HSA, especially for the people that's not veterans that is in the corporate world. HSA is a life hack. 529 for people that's worried about their kids and the student loan and the cost of college is so much. I more lean towards trade schools now because I believe the college institution is so overinflated and the amount it costs to go to school versus the money that they can make doing something else is very off balance. But if you're one of those people that believes schooling is or college is the way to go, 529 will help you turbo boost whatever money you set to the side for your kids. Roth IRA, tax-free money when you retire. I'll take that all day. Clutch and Stick is on point for that. Keep investing when there's blood in the streets. You're right. Even if the blood is your own. Correct. That's Warren Buffett. Clutch and Stick. You want it today. Money sitting on the sidelines is a dry powder. Those TV investors are always talking about. Yep. You're 100% right. Stay invested, stay always stacking money. And y'all heard me say it on the channel, and I know I've went long, but y'all heard me say it on the channel a couple times. When times are good, especially in the stock market, that's not money I go to blow. That's money I say, okay, I'll take off the table and I'm saving, stacking for a bad time. And then people are like, okay, so when can we spend money? And I always say when there's blood in the streets, when times are bad. And I'm just going to give you an example. When February hit and the market started going bad, I was investing a lot of money. But when the airline CEO said the airline industry is in a recession, the first thing I knew was, All right, they saying they're in a recession. They drop prices. I booked my family a domestic holiday or a domestic vacation and an international vacation. Super cheap. And then now the stock market's recovering. The news, the airline CEOs ain't saying the same things that they saying. But that's when I got it. I go when everybody's fearful. I don't care what it is. Spending, whatever. And that's something that I learned a little bit when I was in the military. When the 1st and 15th happened, and for people that don't know, the 1st and 15th is when the military get paid. Prices are through the roof because they know they're going to get paid. But you know, that 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, when all the soldiers broke, that's when I started going out. And the only reason why I started doing that because it was a vendor that told me, hey, we know y'all getting paid. So that's why the prices go up when payday come. It ain't like, he was like, if you don't buy it, somebody else will. Okay, so I start going on off-pay weeks from there on out. And that's just what I start doing with my life because it's more opportunities because like the military, the price they ain't just driving stuff up and making everybody pay a higher price. So that's what I do. When the news media say one thing, I look at the opposite. No matter if it's investing, no matter if it's buying, no matter what it is. Like right now, you hear in the news media, the housing market is terrible. This is the worst time to buy. I'm trying to rob everybody for every property they got right now. I might as well put a mask on. They might as well call the police on me because I'm going after every property. Because the media said that it's the worst time to buy. That means it's the best time for me. But all right, Clutch a Stick, money sitting on the sidelines, you're correct. I'm just here to give you cosign. Thanks for the cosign and Clutch Stick. The process got that TSP going. Not mad at you. Ton laughing. But yeah, but besides that, that's what I'm doing, guys. Again, this is what the channel is, the process. Hit me up anytime. Like, comment, subscribe. And we'll see you next week on the live. And then the videos will come out Friday morning. That was a new update on there. But y'all have a good one. Thanks for tuning in for the people. And I'll see you on the next one.